we were so hyped about the defense all year, right? Or all off season. We gave George Karlaftis big money. We were talking about getting a contract done, maybe before the season, probably after the season for Trent McDuffie. Nick Bolton got what he's top four paid linebacker in the league at 15, just slightly above 15 mil a year. Drew Tranquil was coming off of like a down season, but even then, still really good. Really obviously paid Chris Jones a ton of money. Got the D line a little bit extra help, and we thought the corners were in a really good position.
I thought Chamari Connor knew how to play football.
See, yeah, no, because we talked about that, right? Like we said in the pregame show, we thought Jaden Hicks was the starter. Turns out Jaden Hicks wasn't the starter; it was Chamari, and Jaden Hicks would come in and fill that gap. And we probably, I
Well, they
mean,
have
we
them
take,
listed at different positions on the depth chart.
yeah,
They
it's
have Hicks
weird.
listed as a free safety.
Yeah, and they have Kamari at strong, and they have who am I missing here? Brian Cook as the other free.
Yeah.
And Spags loves to do this weird thing, right? With DBs. He loved Sorensen. He played all the time. Shouldn't have.
So
He's
he
got this
couldn't
weird thing
cover
with
like
like
with the infamous honey badger pictures,
yes.
just
You just
arms up on the field. Like, who are
what are
you
we
covering
doing?
right now? What are
What are
you
we
doing?
doing? I think we're gonna see a lot of that because you can't like no matter how good Spags is, his defenses are very niche and he likes even more niche players at specific positions who do certain things very well, but overall, they're not very good. They would not be able to go and play in most other teams,
Well,
a
I
la
think the
Dan
weakness
Sorensen.
glaringly, like with most of the examples you're probably going to give, is like they'll tackle well, they'll
Oh,
make big
yeah.
tackles in certain situations, but they can't cover a freaking. I don't know a good joke here, but like they can't cover anything. Like
It's not, it's not what we expected. Now, is Chamari Connor the end all be all? Like, if he plays, like, dude, we've seen him outside of like pre-injury. So like we've seen him, he knows how to play. I don't know if he was just getting bad looks, was a bad call. Spags clearly got out coached and the players got outplayed. I think it was a combination of just a bad storm, um, and maybe like they're also going up against good competition. We Keenan Allen, even though the Bears were bad, like he was still one of the better players that they had, and he's going back and has great chemistry with Herbo. Quentin Johnston was never necessarily a bad receiver in terms of like getting separation, being very fast, being open. He just couldn't catch the ball, and he clearly is at least in week one
he
has figured
clearly
that one
spent some
out.
time on the jugs machine this offseason. Like
Lad McConkey, we knew Lad McConkey is an absolute animal. He can route anybody up any day of the week, doesn't matter. Their run game was stifled. I'll give them that. Hey, they didn't do like Marion Hampton. He was good, but he didn't really do much comparatively. We just could not, and we had no pass rush. I don't know what happened. Chris Jones, you get like it's not even Chris Jones. The final play where Herbo escapes out of the pocket playing defensive end. I don't really want to see Chris Jones out of the defensive end position anymore. It hasn't worked in a few years, minus a
it
time
worked
or
last year.
two.
It really did
Again,
work last year.
a time or two, but we also don't have any until Omar Norman Lott starts to get playing time. And I think with as little playing time as he got against the Chargers, hey, let's throw him out there. Let's see what he can do. Because Derek Nottie, uh, uh,
Listen,
Tui Pelotu, all the other guys that we have, like they're not working interior for pressure. Jordan Karloftis looked like he took the whole game off. Charles Omenihu didn't win a single snap. Like let's just let's start playing the young guys.
well, listen, like I'm not out here trying to discourage. Spags mixing it up on the D line. I think giving an offensive line different looks and different players in different positions, I think is healthy for a defensive line to do.
Absolutely.
But like whatever we tried Friday night was not very effective. Like we are we're sitting here criticizing like a one score game, a 6 point loss, right? Like the defense played okay, but they like we really got cut up in the pass game. And so like not getting to the quarterback and the
Not
DBs
covering.
kind of shaking off some rust or whatever for the first game, it just wasn't a great combination. So like I think I what I hope for out of this game is that we study what the hell the Chargers did in this game and we have a better plan the next time we have to play them, cuz like they have to come to Arrowhead cuz that was an away game for us.
Yep.
So the Chargers don't get a home game versus us. They have to come to Arrowhead now, and so when they come to Arrowhead, we better have something else planned or just have a good rebuttal for what they threw at us Friday night because that was ridiculous.
The sky's not falling. It probably makes it sound like we believe that with how critical we're being. This guy's not
It's just
falling.
it's
It,
bad pass
it,
defense. It was
it
terrible
was
pass
just
defense.
it was a bad game. Something that we necessarily haven't seen from this defense since Bob Sutton. Maybe Spags' first year was a little shaky. The defense was a lot better. It hasn't been this bad since then in a one game sample size. So it's not falling, and we've got pieces in place. We've got the coaching staff with experience, Super Bowl champions. They can get it done. They can turn the ship around, and they got a lot of time to do so. There were just some very glaring issues. Um, and
But
I think it
I
does. It
honestly
starts with
think
the D line.
I think the offense was worse. So
Yeah, no, the offense was worse. I mean, now we should also caveat it with again the sky for the offense is not falling either. It's not falling for the team in general. I think Andy definitely got out coached, but I think Andy was the least prepared I think I've ever seen him as soon as Xavier Worthy goes out.
well, look, we've seen this tendency. Okay, last year, granted, Andy Reid did run the ball at his highest rate. I think it was the situation we were forced into, and Kareem Hunt was effective. But we understand this trope with Andy Reid having Patrick Mahomes. I mean, not even just having Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback, because honestly, he did this crap with Philly as well. But just he's going to pass the ball. Like Andy Reid is at the forefront of like changing the way the game is being played on offense. Like his short passes and screens are like an extension of the run game, and he's gonna throw the ball 50 some odd times, 60 some odd times, if it comes to it. But we had a moment in for second quarter, maybe no, first quarter. We were 3 for 9 passing the ball. Pat Mahomes was 3 for 9 passing the ball, and
Sure.
we had a 3rd and 4. We had a 3rd and 4 situation, and I don't know how many carries Pacheco had at the time, but he was getting almost 5 yards a carry.
He averaged the entire game 5 yards a carry and had 5 rushes.
Right. So, but like at this point in the game, we
Yes.
have we have success in the run game, and we're 33% in the pass game. And mind you, I understand that Andy Reid does this thing as well with play calling that he kind of saves the best shit for later on in the season. His certain tactics and looks, and he puts certain things out on tape at the beginning of the season, and he comes back with great plays in the end of the regular season and the postseason. But my God, it's not going to hurt you one time or to surprise a defense on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and run a running play that might look like a pass, might be out of the shotgun or whatever, but it's gonna catch a defense off guard who's trying to pin its ears back and come at Pat Mahomes because we have the success. We can get 5 yards a carry. Why are we trying to force the issue when we are 33% effective throwing the ball? Like just the pure numbers, the pure observation of the numbers of all of it just doesn't make sense to me. We're going to continue to throw the ball when we're struggling with it. We run the ball 3 times in the first half, 4 times in the first half, and get 20, 21 yards out of it. Like, feed your running backs sometimes when Pat Mahomes might not be finding the right guy every time out there, or whatever happens. It's like Pacheco looked great in the preseason, and then we come out and don't give it to him.
I want to piggyback off that because like I have some stats on the running backs. I have some thoughts on the running backs, but I think that also pairs very well with we threw the ball too much. To piggyback off of what you were saying is like we're getting
And
these
it's not like
yards.
we were
Stop
down
letting
terribly. It's not like we were like
yeah.
down double scores and we had to pass the ball and go deep or whatever.
Didn't
Like
10 was the most we were down at any given point. And yet we still allow the defense to pin their ears back and come on a blitz or just the defensive line can just pressure with four. We saw it in the Super Bowl. So why do we continue to allow that to happen? Especially when we look at everybody who's running routes and our top four receivers in routes run Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelsey, Tyquan Thornton, Julius Smith-Schuster, because obviously Xavier Worthy was out. Travis Kelsey is the only player with a double-digit win rate on routes run at just shy of 11%. Hollywood Brown, who had the most targets and the most yards and the most receptions, was at a 6.8% win rate for his routes, creating no yards of separation, nothing. While on the other side for the Chargers, nobody. There was Will Dissly, tight end, who ran like one route, had a 4% win rate. But for the most part, their top three guys, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen, had no less than a 26% win rate. So we're just allowing these defensive players on the other side to just pin their ears back and go after it. And part of that comes from Andy Reid and his poor play calling. One, it, as of recent, at least in this game specifically, in the play calling that goes along with that is we have two run plays: inside zone left, inside zone right. That's it. You want to run it? You want to run it outside? No shot. We're just going to run you to the
I've seen him
flats and
run a
make it a
draw.
screen.
I've seen him run a
Yeah,
draw.
quarterback draw. That's it, dude. Like, it's still inside zone. Like you look at the steps of the offensive lineman, it's not a draw. It's inside zone left, inside zone right. Like run it through the A gap, run it through the B gap, and that's it. Sometimes you'll get a little bit wider. You'll run it through the four hole instead of the two, or the three instead of the one, but it's still inside zone left, inside zone right, and there's no creativity. Yeah, I want to see I form. I'm tired of the RPOs. A week back,
We
get Patrick Mahomes under center. Give the
It's
defense
not going to
a
happen.
different look. It's
It's
not going
not.
to happen. But man, like when's it going to happen? When are we actually going to run play action? You look at all these other teams who also have weak running backs. I'm going to go out there on a limb and say we have weak running backs. I'll give you a stat that backs that up here in a minute. But you look at these other teams and you go, okay, they've got weak running backs, but guess what? They're still mixing up the looks. They're still getting under center. They're still able to get these weaker, even lesser running backs than we have and get great production and value out of it because you're mixing it up on the defense. They don't know whether it's going to be a run or a pass. It doesn't mean go under center all the time. Give it a couple different looks. Let's actually run some play action. You and I specifically have been calling for this the last couple of years.
I just feel like we're
RPO is
wasting
not
our
cutting it.
breath though. Like number one, like taking this aspect out of it, we're not
Yes.
nobody's actually freaking listening to us. But number
Fair.
two, like like I said earlier, Andy Reid is at the forefront of like changing the way that offenses are run, or like he's like already changed it and he's sticking with like what like the blueprint that has had him like success over the past 7 years.
Which brings me to the next point is yes, Pacheco currently in 5 carries, 5 yards per carry. Kareem Hunt in his career has never had like under 3.7 yards per carry. average for a season. Good running backs. Both of them are not as powerful as they once were. Both of them, especially given Pacheco's injury last season. Um, and the way that Andy Reid wants to do this, there's a reason why Clyde Edwards-Helaire was brought in, and it clearly didn't work. Is he's supposed to be a receiving back? That's the way that Andy wants to go. He wants to make a running back, not necessarily a running back, but a receiver out of the backfield, and utilize that sort of scheme as a run play, but it's more of a pass. We do not have the running backs to get us there. They're not fast enough. You can take one of the plays as example from the Chargers game where it was a flat route outside. What happened? We pulled Josh Simmons, the left tackle, to go out wide. The receiver did get beat on his block, holding it was Juju Smith-Schuster was blocking DB. I think his number was 20 on the outside shoulder instead of the inside shoulder, but still had Josh Simmons, who was going to be outside, could chip the DB and work his way to the flowing linebacker. And Isaiah Pacheco decides to run upfield instead of follow his lead block outside. I think the vision is very limited, and where that comes from as well is C. Harrison on 96.5 dropped a little stat for us today on his drive show. In the last 290 times that either Isaiah Pacheco or Kareem Hunt has carried the ball for a rush, not including their receptions, which that's a very long time because Pacheco was hurt most of last season, so he didn't get that many touches. But in the last 290 times, either Pacheco or Kareem Hunt rushed the ball. Only one time did the run go for 20 or more yards, and only four times has the run gone for 15 or more yards.
I don't
We've
mind that.
got we've got a very
I don't
solid
care that we don't have
offensive
home run
line.
hitters.
And it's not necessarily for the home run hit, but you can go and look at these lesser backs, even lesser than Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, and see that those backfields are getting more production than that. It has to do one
If we
with
keep
play
the yards per
calling, and
carry
two,
between 4 and 5, homie, I'm not mad that
I,
they
I,
aren't
I'm
pulling off the big plays.
I'm
I
not
just
mad at
wish
that
we
either.
would give them the ball more.
We do need to do that. There is a clear indication that there is that they need to get the ball more. I think we are just missing also running backs who have speed and vision. And there's a reason why the Kansas City Chiefs were touted as being like in the market to trade for running back
Yeah.
in the preseason. And
Well, it's
and
also the reason why we tried Elijah Mitchell.
and drafted Rashad Smith out of SMU. I think I'm saying his
Yeah,
first
but
name
that's a
wrong.
that's a that's a late round flyer. Like
It,
that's
it
nothing.
is, but that's also the MO for Brett Veach is taking late round flyers on skill position guys that we need to fill depth and hopefully they make it out. And again, what is Smith's trait as a running back? He was a receiver who transitioned to running back in college and now is a running back in the NFL. It's not power, it's speed and the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. That's what Andy Reid wants. So we also need running backs who can fill that position. Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt cannot.
I don't know. I mean, if they go out and get the like, I don't realistically think like even if he was hearing our words, like he would take our advice. Like I think like he's that like
Sure.
stubborn, but also prideful in like the formula
There's
that
been
he's
a lot of
cooked up
talk
or
about that.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like this is what's worked for us for 7 years, 8 years. Like I'm just gonna basically reinvent that or whatever. But I don't know. I would like to see a move at running back because if they really want a certain style of running back and we don't have it, then fine, go get the guy you want to match your system. But just in general, like hand the ball off. Pat Mahomes doesn't have to be running for his life every play. Like we can
There's guys out there who can get it
we can
done.
hand the ball off.
There's guys out there who can who can fill that gap to and they're available, right? I mean, go and look at New Jersey, the New York Jets. Look at them.
New
They've been
Jersey.
trying to. They're in New Jersey. They're not in New York. Who do they have in their backfield? They've got Braylon Allen and they've got Brees Hall, and they've clearly been showing that they want to shop Brees Hall. That is a guy who can receive as a receiving back, and he can run it. He would fit the system perfect. It'd take a lot to get him, but he could do it. You've got Keaton Mitchell for the Ravens. You think they're going to use him? No, no shot. They've got that position covered. You could go to Jacksonville and they have Tank Bigsby. They just drafted Tootin, and they have Travis Etienne, who had a horrible season last year and then a fantastic week one. One of those three guys would be available, and all three of them would probably fill the position to exactly a T. I mean, that's just to name a couple. There's still more in the league, and that they're open and available to be traded for. Is it going to take a little bit? Yes, but you could make it happen. And most of those guys are on rookie contracts, by the way,
I'm just tired of saying the same thing. Like we see these common
every
tropes with
year.
Andy Reid's play calling, and it's like you bitch and moan and complain while we're actually winning and being successful and going to Super Bowls, and it's like, well, shut up. And then
Yeah,
we get to a point where the competition is catching us,
catching up.
especially in our
Yep.
division, and
Yes.
those issues become bigger problems that cost us games. Like,
Yep. Listen, we're not in the AFC East where our division is just full of idiots. It may take them a little bit of time to get somewhere, but AFC West, outside of obviously this stretch, has had quite a bit more parity than some of the other divisions. In all actuality, minus the Chargers uh, competing for a title. Um, but you know, there's a lot of things that just need to be cleaned up, and one thing that I've been hitting on the last couple years. Uh, I don't. Well, I shouldn't say the last couple years. Last year, and now I'll hit on again this year. I still don't like Nagy, man. Andy Reid's calling the plays. He's not calling the plays. I don't care. I'm not here to say one or the other. Uh, if Andy Reid is calling the plays, he's still getting backup from his offensive coordinator. And if Andy Reid's not calling the plays, Matt Nagy is still not a proponent of being a very good play caller. And I don't think that room is being helped by Nagy. And this would be the second year that we get to see that.